Let's go. Let's go. Here we go. The one and only Boss Hogg. Here we are. You're about to have a baby right now.
Yeah, dude. At first I was really nervous, but I'm really excited. Like today's actually the due date, but she's not dilated, like to the point where the doctors want her to have like a healthy, natural birth. So,
Get closer. You're a little bit bigger, so it's kind of hard. I know we're
so like right now
we're a little rugged right now.
waiting on the natural birth. Like she's only like 1 centimeter dilated, and you need to be like 6 to have the baby.
Whoa! So you're doing an all natural birth?
Mm-hmm.
No doctors? No? Or are you gonna have a midwife? Yeah.
We have a midwife and a doctor.
Damn! What made you decide to do that?
Just natural, no like needles, no like a lot of like people don't realize a lot of like medication, pharmacy stuff like get people hooked on drugs. So like me and my girl really aren't into like pharmaceutical drugs. Like all natural is like the best way to go.
Yeah, it goes a little. Hold on, sorry, the audio could be a little low. I'm trying to run it a little bit higher. I think this is the one. Sorry, everybody. But yeah, let's see. Talking to that one.
Check.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah, were you born as a natural baby or were you born on drugs?
I was born a natural baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all natural. No.
All natural. My mom didn't have an epidural or anything. All natural.
And look, you came out like a damn good man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I know this might be a little bit too personal, but didn't you think? I don't know if you want to get into it. Didn't somebody claim that you had to have kids before or something like that?
That I had to have?
Yeah, that you thought you had. I don't know if you want to talk about this. We cut this out, but the 2 kids thing.
Oh, that was like a ex-girlfriend from like back in the day.
Yeah. So what happened there?
Legally, like by law, like they're not mine. I just was with her for a certain amount of time and put the name on the birth certificate.
Yeah, that's another thing. So we are talking about this. So Boss Hogg's cool about that. A lot of people I've heard it like in the industry, they like to say like, oh, Boss Hogg has kids that he doesn't take care of and all this shit. They like to like sneak diss you. And then I like had to back him up like, yo, he's told me like he doesn't have kids, bro. Like, you know, I think you're damn good enough man to not.
Yeah, I'm not a piece of shit.
Yeah, like
I'm not a bastard.
I mean, we're all scumbags and pieces of shit, but I would hope that the people that I hang out with would at least take care of their kid. And look at, he's having a kid and he's here. Look at.
Yeah, and I was like barely like about to pull up because she was like had a feeling that her water was about to break. So it was like that's why I was texting you the whole entire time. I was like, she's having contractions and her water's about to break.
Is it gonna be a girl or a boy?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a little girl.
How crazy is that? Are you kind of scared?
I was super scared at first, but I'm like super excited watching like Hucker, watching like Pat Casey, like being at the Pro Cup and seeing all the pros that have kids. And then even Justin Spreed's dad, he was there with his little daughter and she was on like a Strider. And I was like, that's going to be me. Like, a little kid's going to be at the park with me. Like, first I was like really nervous, but I'm like to a point in my life now where I'm 35. I don't see a lot in like a big BMX career and all that. Everything I do riding is out of the pureness of my heart. I do it because I want to, not to show off, it's like because I like it. And now that I have like someone else to bring into the world, I can show them just as much as all the stuff I love. So it's like not like saying I'm gonna push BMX and my photography and videography on her. But look at it, most kids, she see what I do and what I love, she's gonna want to do it too.
So you don't want to be the type of dad that's like, you got to do this, or you're just going to let her kind of figure out her own path? And
that's the way naturally you have to do it. Like, I mean, truly, me growing up, I didn't have someone pushing me for riding bikes. Like, my grandmother gave me my first bike, but she didn't push me. She would take me to the races, to the trails. Like, she would take me to skate parks that were far, and she really didn't push me, but it was kind of like, do your own thing, and if you love this, do it. And
so you weren't raised by your parents, you were raised by your grandma?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Growing up, my dad, a lot of people don't know, my dad was a gambler, alcoholic, so he wasn't really around. And my mom had my 2 older sisters, and then at the time I was living in Richmond, Virginia, in like the pretty shitty part of town. My mom was working multiple jobs, and it was hard for her to take care of me, so she gave me to my dad's mom that lived out in like the suburban area where it was like nice schools, somewhere wasn't like my mom thought I was gonna get into drugs and gangbanging, so she thought me growing up with my grandmother I wouldn't go that route, which I mean I didn't.
When you're growing up, did you see a bunch of the gangbanging going on and all that stuff around you, or were you far enough from where your grandma lived, to not see any of that shit really?
I mean, like, at first, living with my mom, I saw a lot of it because I lived in a part of town in Richmond, Virginia, like Jackson Ward, Highland Park. Like one point, the city where I'm from is called Murder Capital. Like, I was seeing a lot of stuff young, so I think it scared my mom. Like, she had her daughters that were but she always had a boy, and I didn't have a father figure in my life.
Okay.
So it was kind of like she didn't want me to, like, venture off. So I think me going to my grandmother's kind of, like, no offense, it kind of shaped me to be a different person than being in the city.
When you saw, like, kind of young thuggers, did you see, when you saw the gangsters and all that shit, did you have like a little like curiosity, like, damn, that looks pretty cool?
No, like, growing up, I was like a nerd. I was like into like weird, like, Hobby Lobby building stuff, like riding my bike. Like, I wasn't really, like, growing up in my era, like, I got picked on. This is the time before people were wearing skinny jeans with J's and wearing Vans. Like, I was that kid, like, you know what I mean?
And you're black too, so that kind of, in Virginia, so it's doubles.
So it kind of, like, it made things look worse, and I talk proper. A lot of people are like, oh, you're not a gangbanger. What up, cuz, this and that, what up, my, like, I don't talk like that. I can't talk like that. Somewhere in the back of my head is a switch, or my grandmother's gonna smack the shit out of me if I talk like that. I was always like, talk proper, yes ma'am, yes sir, like, thank you, welcome. Like, it's just a part of me where, like, Southern hospitality, like, I just wasn't raised up. Like, I think this is my grandmother raising me. It was just something, like, embedded in me to, like, always try to follow by the way that she taught me, like, the values that she taught me.
What does your two sisters do?
My two sisters are RN, is like a nurse.
Okay.
And my other sister, like, I want to say she works for, like, what's it called, retirement home, taking care of, like, so they both work as, like, nurse, kind of, like.
Were you able to hang out with them a lot?
Yeah, for a while, like, it was times I remember where, like, this one bigger kid, like, stole my bike, and both my sisters came down and, like, went to, like, the basketball courts and ended up beating up the dudes and getting my bike back. Because I was little, like, when I was small, like.
Damn, how much older are they then?
6 or 7 years older than I am.
So you're kind of not too close because that's kind of that age barrier a little bit, that you didn't hang out with them too much, but they're around.
Like, when I felt like when my mom passed away, it kind of brought us together. But I've always been, like, on my own. Like, when my grandmother passed away, I left home at 15. So,
oh shit! So your mom and grandma passed away?
Yeah, when I was really young. So, like, when my mom passed away, when I was probably like 24, 25, I was living in Tampa, Florida, where I know Matos and Tom, all those dudes, like, Florida dudes from, like, 688, like, it's from living in Florida. But when my grandmother passed away, I was still in Virginia, and I was living with her, and I was only 15. And I was just at the point of my life where I didn't have my mom or dad in my life. My best friend that pretty much, like, influenced me to ride bikes joined the military, and he was in Fort Hood, Texas. Was like, yo, move here with me. And so from 15 until 25, I really didn't have any contact with, like, actual, like, blood family. It was just me and my best friend and whoever I met in Texas.
How did you even get into BMX riding?
My grandmother.
Really? She was down with it?
Yeah, she bought me my first BMX bike from AG's.
What the hell's AG's?
It's like a bike shop. Like, what's a generic ass, like, I don't even think it's, like, generic bike shops here, but it's like.
I guess it'd probably be like an REI, maybe?
Maybe. It's like a bike shop that sells, like, road bikes, BMX bikes. Like,
okay.
My first bike was a GT Performer.
So what made her even think about it? Do you even know?
Or actually, it wasn't a GT Performer. Take that back. It was a green, like, forest green Swin Joey Garcia.
Yo, that was my first one too. Well, that was my first.
Like, legit BMX bike.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That
like,
was, like, the one where I went to the bike shop, and she's like, which one do you want? I was like, I want this one. It had brakes, and literally I got out of the parking lot, and other than putting my bike in the truck with my grandmother and grandfather and, like, going home, I was like, no, I'll meet y'all at home, and just rode my bike across town back home.
You had the El Jefe?
Dude.
That's when I grew up too. I had the all black, but shout out to Schwinn because the first national I ever won, I was like 5 years old, and I got put on Schwinn at that national, so I kept on getting bikes from them, and then when I turned a little bit older, like 11 or 12, I was over racing, and I wanted to get a fucking freestyle bike, but I always wanted the specialized Vegas, the TJ Lavin one.
Yeah.
But I don't know why, but I just loved it. I wanted it so bad.
In our era growing up, he was always that dude at trails.
Yeah.
Like you would see him on TV, you would see him on like all the advertisements. Like I don't think a lot of people realized back then Specialized, Mongoose, Huffy, all those companies were the shit back then. It wasn't like Stranger, it wasn't S&M, it wasn't like those companies around. Like, you know what I mean? We had like Mongoose, like
the actual legit corporations. Imagine being how much being on those teams and how much money like fucking Corey Nostalgia was on Huffy, Janko, Vance. He's still on Vance, but those
he was
checks,
making money back
dude,
then.
he had to at least be making, I'm guessing, $300,000 a year.
Yeah, he wasn't making like $200 like dudes are doing.
Yeah,
now. Like it's not like that now.
I mean, you got Pat Casey and some of those dudes still on Mongoose and Vans and some Monster that are probably still
sure
making.
Kevin is killing it too.
Yeah, Kevin Peraz is probably making that cheddar. But that's cool though. Like, it's pretty crazy to say that a professional bike rider that's risking his life at the top of his game is making it $10,000 the most, you know. But then you have people like Nigel Houston, that's a multi-millionaire, doing the same exact shit. But again, it just comes in corporate sponsors and all that stuff. It kind of sucks, but I feel like it could get there maybe in the future again.
I just feel like skateboarding is so much bigger and cheaper that I don't want to say it's easier, but like I feel like the generation is easier for parents to go out and buy a kid a skateboard for $150 than going to buy a BMX
well,
bike
think about
for
it. Now you're about to be
$1,000.
you're about to be a dad, and you see your daughter like kind of like, oh, I kind of want to do this, Dad. You could spend $20 or like you could spend $500 like, on something that she might not even take seriously. It might just be like a throwing away money, you know. So, and the people that get into this stuff, skateboarding and all that stuff, it seems like just normal ass people, you know, not anybody rich really. It's kind of people that come from, at least here in Long Beach, is people that come from kind of the hood, you know. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool to see. So that's why you see a bunch of people on skateboards out here, because yeah, it's just something that they get into and they see kids growing up. And was it hard being a black skater dude in Virginia?
Oh, it was really hard.
Really?
I like I said, I lived with my mom for until I was like 4 or 5, maybe even 6, and moved with my grandmother. And I would go back and forth between like living like in Virginia, where I'm from, in Richmond. It's like almost like, how can I explain it? Like living in Long Beach, but living in like Lakewood. You know what I mean? In like the nice suburban area where it's like a house and like a skate park you can go to. And then the weekends I would go to my mom, and I would be that one kid that was wearing like skinny jeans or like a Vans t-shirt, or like, I remember back in the day, Airwalks was the shit.
Ooh, yeah.
Like, a lot of people make fun of, but Airwalks were the shit back in the day. And like, people used to make fun of me. They're like, "Oh, you're that black dude trying to be white," and I'm like, "What are you talking about? I'm being myself. This is who I am." And I'm embracing.
Was this coming from white dudes or black dudes?
These are coming from like whites, blacks, like pretty much everyone, like growing up.
What kind of crew of people did you hang out with?
Growing up, I really wasn't into like, I guess I was into hip hop, but I really was like, all my best friends were like metalheads or like punk rock dudes. Like Richmond is like known for like Guar, 9 Inch Nails. Like it was still a punk rock city as it is now. But I mean, like I still embrace like my roots and my heritage, but it was just like, I kind of was seeing all my friends are older than I was. So when I was like 15, my best friend was like 19, like already gone off to like, so I was kind of like, oh, he's doing this, like I can do this too. So it was just kind of like I didn't see color back then, you know what I mean? Like my best friend was the whitest dude you would ever meet. I didn't see color. I just was like, that's my homie. Like,
that's pretty dope, though. It's like, that's another thing, going back from when you started to like imagine about growing up somewhere in Long Beach where there is no like racial profile, and it's blacks, Mexicans, Asians, everyone's just doing their thing, skating, riding bikes,
yeah.
And it's normal, and nobody's like, shit, what's up? You trying to be a white kid? You trying to do this? Like, nah, it's just everybody. Like, you got gangbangers skating, like riding bikes, everything.
It's crazy out here. It's gnarly because like being like from the East Coast, and then like I've been out in California now in like 3 or 4 years, because I was in Phoenix for a little bit. I went to school out there at the Art Institute, and then I moved back home and came back out here, and seeing a difference, like you're saying, it's like a melting pot.
Yep.
There's so many different type of people where they don't see you as like black, white, Mexican. Everyone is like this. Like
Yep.
everyone from you have like gangbanger skateboarders, gangbanger BMXers, RIP fucking Gabe Brooks, like you know what I mean? Like it's just I felt like it was a way to keep the inner youth kids out of trouble. It's like with me back then I didn't have as many people skating in BMX in my area where I grew up. So when I moved to the like kind of the suburban area with my grandmother, it was a little different because then it was hate to say it, like I was the only black kid until my sophomore year in high school.
Yeah, so did you see a lot more racism, well, even you got some racism, in more of the suburban area or where you're at?
Probably in the suburban area.
The more richer area?
Because, like, I was always, like, it kind of stood out. You know what I mean? Like, when I moved with my grandmother, I played soccer, I played football, played all the sports, baseball. Like, my uncle's Art Monk, so my family wanted me to follow after my uncle in football.
Who's Art Monk?
He was a Hall of Famer for the Redskins.
That's your uncle?
Yeah.
That's from your mom or dad's side?
My mom's side.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And he's still alive?
He's still alive.
You
Hall
cool
of
with him?
Famer. Yeah.
Damn.
He was actually out here not too long ago. He was going to come to the bar I used to work at, but he really didn't like the atmosphere. So I ended up meeting him down at where the Hooters, what's that area called?
Oh, the Pike. What did he think about you growing up and being into BMX? Was he kind of like, you should probably play football?
I mean, until let's see, I went to 2 different colleges growing up. I went to Abilene Christian College, and that's where I played football.
To Christian college?
Yeah, that was the craziest stuff ever.
That was I could never imagine. That was your grandma's doing?
My grandmother passed away. It was just that, like, I think it was more of, like, I wouldn't say, like, my doing, but me playing football, that's where I got a scholarship for football.
Oh, shit.
You know, because
What did you play?
Receiver and cornerback.
Oh, shit, yeah, you're about that size. You're like 6'3", 6'4"?
6'3".
Have you always been athletic your whole life?
Yeah.
I guess it runs in your family.
I mean, I ran track. I ran the 100-yard dash. Like, even in Texas, I have, like, records I broke for triple jump, high jump, and long jump.
God damn, Boss Hogg out here. So how did you get into BMX riding?
My grandmother, or actually take that back. I saw my best friend at a skate park back home called Laurel, and it had a bowl, had a big ass like half pipe, and I was skateboarding at the time. I used to rollerblade and skateboard, and I used to take my K2s and my skateboard to the park. I seen this dude come in, and he's wearing this black full face helmet. He's wearing like a Slayer shirt, all black. He's just coming hauling ass in the park. As he comes in, he doesn't like do like a crazy trick. He just hits the biggest quarter dude, and out the park he goes. And then he comes back, and he's all like doing 180s and grinding down the rails. And I was like, it just caught my eye.
Like it looked cool?
Like it was cool as shit. I'm like, dude, this dude's like hauling ass everywhere. I'm over here chasing my board, or I'm like trying to grind on the little ledge with my skates, and I'm like, that looks way cooler. Because when he landed, he went through the grass. He was kept pedaling, came back in, and like it looked like he never slowed down. You know what I mean? He was just always on it. So at one point he was taking a break, and I was like, yo, can I ride your bike? And he kept saying it to me. He's like, you can do the same thing I did. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, how I jumped out of the park. He's like, go to the end of the parking lot and just pedal fast as you can, pull up. You'll land it. I was scared at first, but back then, being so young, we were never really scared of falling. We would fall and get back up and do it again. So I come hauling ass in the park. I'm on this big ass, and this is back, I remember he had a Cheetah dab, and I felt like Solid Bikes was the ones that made those bikes back then.
Okay.
And I come in, I mean, like big 40-pound bike back then, not these 21-pound bikes now. And I just come launching out of the park, dude, land. I like turned around and looked at him, and I was just like, wow.
And that's already, that little second of you being able to catch air probably made it so much easier than you're trying to ollie and shit.
Yeah, dude, because all I had to do was haul ass
and jump.
And jump. Like the momentum and like the weight of bikes back then, I could haul ass and jump any gap and pull up and bunny hop and make the gap. You know what I mean? It was just like, I want to say BMX is easy, but it was like a thing I didn't have fear. So it was just like.
It's easier in a sense that you'll get control a little bit easier. If you know how to pedal, then you'll learn how to drop in. If you just need to be like a little bit more gutsier, I think. But I think it's all hard, dude. Dirt bike riding, skateboarding, it's all hard in its own way, dude. I don't think like it's like there's no best rider, there's no best anything. I think it just has its own way of working out for a certain type of people. It's crazy when you just see people that get every trick and everything so simple, and they're good at every fucking thing.
You know who's good like that is Hobie, dude. He's like grown into his body so well.
I know.
Him, like since he started, dude. Like,
well, Adam McCarty's another dude. Adam McCarty could play piano. He could ride a bike. He could skateboard. He could scooter.
Now he's doing
well. He's a dude. And it happens. So he's good at every fucking thing. And they're just people like that. I think they just have so many hobbies and shit because they're good at it. And I don't know if they know if anything's hard to them. So I don't know, like, what's his name? That kid, Travis Hughes on King.
Oh,
he got
dude,
good so fast in riding bikes.
And then he just got hurt, and it doesn't even seem like he got hurt. He came back. I saw a clip. He did like a feeble hard 30, and he was injured for like 6 months. And first time riding his bike, the first trick he does is a feeble hard 3. I'm like, that's sick, dude.
Shit's like, crazy, bro.
But I feel like a lot of like skating, BMX, motocross is mental. You know what I mean? And like, I'm not gonna lie, it's times where I've like hurt myself so bad to where I was scared to even like to tire ride like something like this high, because I'm like, am I gonna get hurt again? And being our age, dude, we gotta work. Like, we can't just depend on making a check from riding bikes. Like, I call it like, who was I talking about? A lot of people don't really agree with the ways he does, but Zach Gerber, like the blue collar BMX riders, dude, the people that work 9 to 5, full-time dads, families that's welding, that's running businesses like you, and somehow riding bikes. That's awesome, because a lot of people don't realize that. Like, growing up, kids just think, oh, I can do this trick and mimic Chad Curley or Garrett Reynolds or like any of those dudes like Dennis Innocent, and I can make a bunch of money. It's not about that.
Yeah,
it's about riding your bike and having fun and still living a regular life. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of people look past that.
And that's what's fucked up about BMX, though, because Gerber has the skill and the talent to be getting paid by any of these brands and companies to be making a living.
He's the only dude that's done a front flip down a street.
And that's what's crazy, though. He deserves to get paid. And that's how fucked up BMX is, like, the situation. And it sucks to tell kids that are, like, looking into it, like, as a future, like, oh, it's cool, like.
And you look at him now, I lived with him for the longest time, dude, and, like, a lot of people don't agree with the ways he says. Like, we all go through our mental problems and, like stuff that we're dealing with in life. But when it comes to him working a job or riding his bike, dude, he's like in tune with it. Like,
what, you and Gerber got beef with each other?
No, I lived with Gerber for like almost a year, dude. We traveled the United States together in his little like Volkswagen Jetta. When I left Arizona, we came here. We went to the Bay Area. You know Mesta from Fever Life?
Yep.
We went up there, and that's where I filmed my last like part. You know the opening where I did the tire ride down to Double King in Phoenix?
Yep.
That's when me and Zach Gerber filmed that whole thing, and like the ender was in not Cincinnati, but St. Louis, where the church inside.
Yep.
So we stopped there. And then we finished the rest in Ohio, because I was staying with him in Columbus, Ohio for the longest. And then I was just like to a point where I was like feeling homesick. I was like, yo, and it was getting cold as fuck in Ohio. Like, I've been living in Phoenix for the last 6 years, and now I'm in Ohio.
What did you move to Phoenix for?
It was the same situation. I had a friend where I was like best friends with in Texas that I went to high school with, and he was just like, he saw that like I was in like Richmond, and he was just like, you seem like you're not happy, you're not doing this, why don't you move to Phoenix? I ended up moving to Phoenix. I was working at the Vans there at the Metro Mall, and then out of nowhere I was riding my bike to a spot, and I literally rode my bike past the Art Institute of Phoenix. And I was like, what is this? And I go in, and they were just like, oh, you can be a filmmaker, photographer, you can be a graphic designer. And it just like me growing up, I didn't have people to film me. So it clicked. I was like, if I can learn the skills to do Photoshop, Avid, like all the like Premiere Pro, like After Effects, if I can learn that and I already know how to use a camera, I can film my own homies. I don't have to go out and pay someone to film me, because in Phoenix.
Wait, you were paying somebody to film you?
It was times like I would, like I asked Bobby Canode at one point when I was living in Phoenix to help film my edit. But at the time, I really didn't have that much money. Like,
so Bobby Canode wanted to charge you to film?
at the time back then, he wanted me to pay him to film a video. And I feel like
for your sponsors or
just for myself. Like, you know what I mean? I wanted to film a video. Yeah. And I feel like really good filmers are going to do that if they see that you don't have sponsors or you're not blown up in the scene or you're not a part of their crew. That person feels like their time and energy is money, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I understand it, but at the same time, like, I learned how to do the things, and that's what's so sick. I would literally get my camera, I would rent camera equipment from the Art Institute of Phoenix, post all on Instagram and Facebook. Yo, I'm going to Glendale, 83rd, pulling up all the cameras, pull up. I'm filming everyone. Let's do this. And that's how I learned how to edit and film. I spent hours learning how to edit just from clips from Glendale.
What kind of filmers did you look up to?
To be honest, who really caught my attention back, like, when it was Tony Maloof. Which,
the best.
Dude, like, killed it, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm not even talking about his work now. I'm talking about back then when he was doing VX.
You don't like his work now?
No, I love his work now. I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, the VX stuff, like, the style, like, that I like from being from the East Coast to animal videos, like, that gritty street, like, not high def, you know what I mean? Like,
I can't stand
clear.
the VX now.
I know.
I think VX looks dope on TV, but on web videos, I'm over that. I'm over that shit.
It doesn't look good.
Yeah, I think it looks dope on DVDs and all that shit. Besides a web video, like, don't put that on the web. No more VX footage on the web, please. And a lot of these people don't know how to deinterlace it, so
it looks like crap.
It looks like shit, and a lot of people don't even know what deinterlacing is. If you really look close to it, you'll see lines in that shit, and it separates like it looks like paper cuts, and they forget to deinterlace it, and it looks 10 times worse. But then a lot of people think, oh, that shit's sick, bro. Like, it just gives a look. Like, nah, bro. Like, nah, it's just get with the times, man. Like, people are artists in their own way. Like, I could respect that, but there's just a time and place for everything.
But you can do that with your camera now, dude. You can.
Yeah, I could film it right and then put a filter
on it, and it look just.
Shit,
like
I could do it in my pocket. I got the new phone right now. It's like
it's just. I guess back then it was just like people I really looked up to was. Who else was back then?
Konoda was killing it though too, during the Sabrosa time.
Yeah, the Sabrosa and all the mediocre. He's working on the mediocre now. So in Phoenix, like, who else? It was somebody else. Oh, it was who's the photographer from? He's from Phoenix, but he lives in the Bay Area now. Zan.
Oh yeah, Zan.
Like,
yep.
To be honest, he helped me a lot when I was in school. And I had like questions about like Photoshop, how to do this. I would hit him up.
Yeah, he's killing it,
and
man.
I'm like, yo, dude, that's like, how do I do this and do this? And he'd be the first one to be like, yo, like, you know, some people like hesitant to. Like,
yeah, it's weird though. Like, I try to ask. They're my homies and all that shit too, but I try to ask people like, hey, how do you do this type of cut? How do you do this kind of transition? And they don't want to give you advice on it. For some reason, I don't know what it is, because I think it's like an artist thing. Like, if you want to learn it bad enough, then you just got to learn. And it's like, come on, man. Like, give me a little help here.
I think with Zan, like, because he graduated from the Art Institute too, so it was kind of like, he graduated years before I did, and I think it just, knowing he was in the BMX scene, I felt comfortable being like, yo, dude, I'm not trying to, like, because I was going to school for digital filmmaking, and I felt like he was going to school to be a photographer. So it was like, even though I was doing filmmaking stuff, I had to do photography classes. And that sort of was like, man, how, like, Photoshop? I'm like, give me a phone. I don't care about editing stuff, but now I'm like, yo, give me anything. I can edit you in the Bahamas now.
Yeah. That's how easy it is on Instagram. It's an app. Any app, you can do it. Did you fuck with a lot of people in Arizona? They fuck with you a lot?
I mean, a lot of the homies, the Glendale crew, all the dudes out in Glendale. To be honest, if anything ever happened where I wanted to like leave California, I would probably move back to Phoenix and buy a house.
Okay.
Way cheaper, dude. I can probably go there and buy a house, 5-bedroom house. What people are paying a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom here. Like, there's just something about AZ, especially around this time of the year. It's beautiful.
Yeah, AZ's dope around this time.
It's so beautiful out there. I mean, it's hot, but it's like, I'm used to it. I'm tropical. I'm black anyway. I'm used to being in
We like that hot weather, baby. I ain't black, but I'm getting there. So what happened to the Good Bar? You were working as a bartender. You moved out here. You worked as a bartender.
Yeah, I was there for, oh, man.
So tell us the story of what happened at Good Bar, bro.
Oh, Lord. All right, so I was there for like I've been there 3 years. I dedicated my whole life to that place.
You were there
like,
long.
I was there, like, and at this point, I was bar backing, cooking. I was the door guy. I did pretty much every position you can work at that bar. And one time I went to go, the one time I was ever super late to work, which I never ever tell anyone being late to work is right or wrong, but I was wrong. And I admitted it. They suspended me. I took my suspension.
Why were you late?
I was helping Miles and them film. I was making
so that's
money.
not a good enough excuse. Yeah,
but I was making money. I'm about to have a kid, and it was extra money. So I'm thinking I can make it back to work before I had to go to work. You know what I mean? And I got stuck in LA traffic. If anyone in LA knows about traffic, we were all the way out in fucking.
You gotta be 2 hours ahead at least.
What is it called? Past Malibu, where we were. We were pretty far.
Ventura.
Wait, like. Far.
Okay.
It was a 2-hour drive back.
Okay.
So I'm like, yo, I'm going to be late. I'm sorry. There's nothing else I can do. They suspended me. I was like, all right, I can take that. I was wrong. I'm not going to, I'm going to take my suspension, which they suspended me for a week. I was supposed to come back. The thing we filmed was on a Wednesday. So I was supposed to come back to work on the next Wednesday. They fired me on a Tuesday. It's against the law. If anyone knows about California laws here, it's the hardest place to lose a job or get fired. You have to have 3 write-ups.
You got fired on your day off.
It wasn't even a day off. I was
you got to be
working.
the dumbest motherfucker to get fired on your day off.
Oh, my God.
That's you. That's Boss Hogg. Boss Hogg is Craig from Friday. He lost his job on his day off. But anyways, I'm sorry.
So by law in California, you have to have three write-ups, 3 verbal, anywhere in California, just because of, immigrants, people, different, racial discrimination here in California. You just can't fire someone while you're on suspension. You already took away my pay for a week. You can't infraction me again for doing that. So I'm taking them. I'm suing the owner of Good Bar.
Do you think he was racist or allegedly
He was very
racist?
racist.
Yeah.
I have screenshots of where me and customers were setting up at emo night, and it was me and a skater. You know what I mean? Not a lot of people would like to come to Good Bar just because of the rep that they know that it's shitty there. People would fight there. People do this, but it's not always like that. You know what I mean? I worked there on my birthday, bro. The last 2 years, I could have been out hanging out with my homies. I could have went to Albuquerque with you guys. I gave my life to this place.
Yeah, you were there a lot, man.
I dedicated everything to making, I even wanted a BMX night. But the dude treated all my BMX homies so shitty that they took their business somewhere else, and I don't blame them. They went to Ashley's Bar. Ashley's Bar in Long Beach now is a new BMX spot. If you go to Ashley's Bar, Stevie Churchill, everyone in BMX community is hanging out at Ashley's. They're not hanging out at Good Bar. They're not hanging out at Black. They feel comfortable at Ashley's. They can drink. They can play pool. They don't have to worry about no one pressing them over with stupid shit. Good Bar, the owner there is just... He likes to hang out, get everyone drunk. He thinks he's cool because he's giving everyone shots. He wants to be the cool guy. He should just let the main bartender, Tim, run the place and be the face of it, and he just collects money and step away. Because it's times where
So you vibed with everyone there?
I vibe with everyone there, dude. They're the last 3 years before this, I was working at Gallagher's. So I went home because my dad was sick with cancer. So I didn't quit or get fired. I just was I stepped away from Gallagher's. And when I came back, or even before I came back, they hired me over Instagram because another cook named Adam that works at Ashley's now that doesn't get along with the owner at Good Bar either.
Adam's dope, yeah.
Adam's super dope. He left, and it was just I love everyone there, dude. The last 3 years I've been there, this has been my family, you know what I mean? Everything I did was with everyone at Good Bar. Tim, Mikey, Alana, Josh, I did everything. I didn't have normal friends like most people did because I lived my life at this bar every day. It's times where I fought with my kid's mom, my girl, because of just decisions I made to be at the bar, cleaning up 4 o'clock in the night. So I almost got stabbed there. If you go to Good Bar and you look at the front door, you can see where someone tried to take a box cutter to my face. So when you first walk in.
Was it on camera?
Yeah, it's all on camera. Frat boy came in wearing a pink hat, 666 hat with a gun. Mad shit, bro. The first time I worked there, it was a riot fight.
Why do you think it brings in all those type of people?
I just think it's not even that that bar brings in that type of people, just like I feel like it's a cool bar. Everyone knows it. It's a young crowd. Like it's not like a older crowd that works there. It's like anywhere from 21 up to like their mid-20s is where like the newer millenniums hang out.
Millennials.
So I feel like people from Compton comes and hang out. People from North Long Beach comes and hang out. People from Wilmington comes and hang out.
Does Vel still work there?
No, they fired him over some like Natalia like stuff that he didn't even. They fired him over some BS, bro. Like it's crazy is the last 3 door guys that they have there, me, another dude named Solomon, Vel, they all fired us over really technically being like the owner is racist as fuck. He tried to say that Vel was doing something he wasn't, and I know he wasn't. And I vouched for Vel because I wanted him to have that job there because with me about to have a kid, I saw that in the situation he has a little daughter. I wanted the best for my homies.
Yep.
So I was like, yo, if my homies can make money and I know that Vel's at the door and I'm behind the bar backing or inside, I know that no one's going to get past that door with a gun. They're not going to come in with knives and start trouble because I had Vel at the door.
Yep.
And for some odd reason, the owner at the bar would rather just go hang out at Cherry Park, no offense to any of the homies there, and just have some skinny white dude at the door. And I'm like, yo, you can't have some little punk dude that's not going to stand up for himself to protecting your bartenders and your employees of the bar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's multiple times where people have gotten fights, and my other dude that supposedly was my coworker would run and hide.
Jeez.
I'd be by myself trying to drag people out of the bar. But to be honest, everything happens for a reason. I'm blessed. I have a daughter on the way. I'm about to start electrician school.
Oh, yeah?
I'm about to go to school to be an electrician. I haven't really been smoking weed anymore. I haven't been drinking anymore. I'm going, like, super sober. Like, right now I'm just trying to be better man for my family. Like, I know I messed up and stuff in the past, but now I'm just trying to be better for my daughter.
You messed up a bunch in the past? We all have.
I mean, like, partying and stuff, you know what I mean? I used to be black working at the bar.
Yeah.
At that bar, dude, I'd be working in the kitchen, and I'll look up after having, like, 50 orders. There'd be shots in the window, tall can of PBR.
Yeah.
Like, you know
You're
I mean?
just
like,
getting fucking wasted.
I'm getting wasted, bro. Like, every night I was drunk at my work. Like, every night, drunk. You know, we asked Vel, dude. We were like, they would feed us. They were feeding us shots every night. We'd be at the bar till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning on a Friday, Saturday night. We don't leave that place till like 4 or 5.
God
you know what
damn.
I mean? I can't be that way with. I have a child coming into work. Like, I want to be there for my kid.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that.
Like, I just felt everything happened for a reason, and I'm excited.
Are you nervous about having a kid?
I was at first, but I'm more excited now.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, I'm having a girl. I'm cursed. Nah, dude. Like, I just imagine, like someone else said the other day at the Vans Pro Cup, it's gonna be a little boss hog running around. I'm like, it's kind of like, it made me like smile. I'm like really excited.
Yeah.
Then I see like Max and his little sisters, and then Ari from up in Oregon, him and his little sister ride bikes. I'm like, I'm not gonna push her to do the things, but I feel like my daughter is gonna see me doing things in my life, and she's gonna want to do those things.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like 2 years ago, I took my girl to Swamp Fest. And the first thing she said was like, man, all the times I go to skate events in Long Beach and this, they're jerks. But I went to Swamp Fest, all the BMXers are polite, they're nice. Hey, can I get your water? You want a beer? But when she goes to the skate events, dudes are jerks and assholes. She's just like, yeah, we are assholes and party and stuff, do jerk stuff. But she was just saying like BMXers, lifestyles, they're not as bad as skaters. No offense to skaters, but
damn, you calling out the skaters right now, bro.
They don't want no smoke anyway.
Holy shit. That'd be cool. We should have a little boss hog versus skateboarder fucking. Speaking of which, what happened? I know we told it on Drinking and Driving, but what happened with that Us and Them, or was that the Us and Them video? Or,
Act Like You Know.
Yeah.
To be honest, I haven't heard anything else. I haven't even seen they sent me a video.
But what happened? For the people, because people still want to know what happened when the
incident happened.
Yeah, with you with the bat against the wall, and homie had to tell that story again. If you did, he's already told this story on our last Drinking and Driving, but it's been a couple years, and for the people that haven't seen that, here it is.
All right, so Act Like You Know is a video. He was a designer from Animal, and then he parted ways and started doing his own thing. And this is around the time, I don't know if you heard earlier, I was living with Zach Gerber, traveling with him. So he was friends with all these dudes, like Howard and...
You weren't cool with them?
No, I mean, I was cool with them because I didn't, like, I didn't really know them. You know what I mean?
But did they kind of vibe with you, or
I mean, I showed up to their house and they were handing me beers and shaking my hand.
So they were cool.
They were cool. Even his girlfriend was looking at whatever his name, Jeff or Jeffrey, whatever, that had the bat in my hand, and was like looking at him, was like, "You're an idiot, bro." Like, there's a bunch of girls. There's a Halloween party.
Okay. So go back up a little bit. So you were cool.
I'm cool with all those dudes.
Yeah.
They even still. What's weird is that most of them legitimately still follow me on Instagram and follow and like shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have beef with any of those dudes other than the dude that had the bat on me.
Okay, so how did it end up happening? What was there? Is there beef happening before?
It was I was at the time traveling with Zach Gerber, which he was a part of Daily Grind. We did a trip. It was all the Daily Grind dudes. It was me included, some other people that weren't really riding for Daily, but we were still on a trip to Pittsburgh. And it's a cellar door that has like a kind of like a railing kind of thing where you have to like stairs and hop over into it. Zach Gerber and all those dudes went there and like cut knobs on it so that you can grind it, and like made it to where it was a rideable spot. And then those dudes were like all flipping out, being like, "Oh, that's my spot. I can go there and cut this up. I can do this and this." And then I posted like, "You're a mark ass bitch" or some shit, or oh no, I said toy. That's what it was, because you know graffiti artists, if they like spray over someone else's shit, they put toy. Yeah. That's pretty much saying you're a mark ass bitch. Yeah. And I said that to whatever the dude that runs Act Like You Know. I don't even know his name. That's how much I really don't care anymore. And then I guess when I was traveling with Zach, I ended up going to a Halloween party with his friends in Dayton, Ohio, after we were doing a Daily Grind jam. So I ended up showing up to this party. Everyone else is cool with me. Howard's cool with me. All the dudes are like, saying what's up. We're in the backyard drinking at the time. And then out of nowhere, this dude, Jeffrey, he's in the Act Like You Know video, or Us versus Him video, whatever. And it took him a whole bottle of vodka, dude, to even confront me. I'm by myself. You know me, I'm always by myself. 10 deep, always by myself. You won't see me chilling with a bunch of people unless I go out and meet up with homies. I'm by myself all the time. And this dude literally sitting on the front porch drinking a whole bottle of fucking...
So you walked in, he was cool with you, like kind of acting cool?
No, I was already at the party before he got there, and he showed up.
But he saw you? Did you guys see each other before?
Yeah, we eye connect, and I really didn't know who he was, but he was already kind of like, I can tell vibes of people. He was already kind of like weird. So I was like, I'm gonna go like hang out. I was like smoking weed with other people in the back room, because at the time they just got the house. It was a big, decent house. So I'm watching him with me. When I feel certain vibes, I'm always gonna watch my back, my six. So I set my back towards the wall to where I can see the front door, because he's on the front porch the whole time. He's drinking this thing. He had a baseball bat, and it had like nails or some shit wrapped on it.
What?
Yeah, it was like some weird ass shit. So he's like banging it on the ground, on the front porch, like hyping himself up. You know, you ever?
But you're like, were you looking at him like, what's going on here? You didn't know. You didn't know it was for you.
I didn't know it was for me, so I was just kind of like, oh, whatever.
Cool.
I was like, oh, like whatever. So like about like 20, 30 minutes later, after he finished a bottle of vodka, he finally had the balls to come approach me, and then he was like, yo, remember who's a toy ass bitch right now? I can end your life. This and that. And the whole time, I'm laughing. Like, if you see the video, I'm smiling. I'm legitimately smiling. And then he was like, you're going to say this, act like you know. And I was like, act like you know. Like, if you see my face, I'm like, I'll just say, act like you know. And then, like, Zach and the dude that owned the house was just like, maybe you should just leave. And I was like, all right, I'm down.
So Zach didn't have your back?
No, like, he had my back.
So...
But at the time, like, these are his homies that he grew up with, too. You know what I mean? Like, before he even met me.
So he didn't get in between, like, yo.
He didn't get in between.
Oh, really? That's great.
No one got in between. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not even his homies got in between. But when we get outside, where they didn't film, homie, comes after me and presses me, like, hard.
So just you and him?
Just me and him, no baseball bat. And I just snapped. I mean, snapped. I folded his back over this chain link fence and made his back touch like the back of his calf.
You knocked him out?
Like, I didn't like knock him out, but like I'm like literally folding him up over this chain link fence. He gets up, he runs away from me. I'm sitting in Zach Gerber's car. Zach is still inside at the time. They're all watching it. No one's filming this part. Jeffrey, whatever his fucking mark ass name is, fucking He thinks he's a tough guy because he did time in prison, dude. Doesn't make anything. He was probably the dude that had it sagging his pants, let everyone know he's a mark-ass bitch. I see you out in Cali, it's on site. So this fool runs, other than running to my side, if you have a problem with someone, are you going to run to the driver's side or the side where the person's in the passenger seat? He ran to Zach's side and was all like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, Zach, get out the car. I want all the smoke. Like, I'm already like hyped up now. I'm like, yo.
So was it only you, Zach, and homie that you fought, or was the whole party looking?
Like the whole party was
so
looking.
The whole party saw you lay that fool out?
That I smoked that fool and they didn't film it. They only showed the part where we were inside and where I'm chilling, being respectful in someone's brand new house that I'm not going to fight in, and he's all like waving a bat in my face. Like, what else am I going to do when someone's waving a bat in my face? You can look at the video. I'm smiling and laughing. I'm legitimately smiling. I'm like,
so laughing. The people that filmed the bat up to your neck are the same people that saw their boy get laid out?
Yeah, they get smoked. They already knew that Boss Hogg was going to smoke that nigga, put him in the wood and smoke him.
Damn.
Like, at that time, like, I was really nice and polite because the reason we went there was because they just moved into this house.
Yeah.
You know
That's dope. Like, that's cool of you.
There's a big party, and literally I'm having all these cute girls that I didn't know from Dayton, Ohio, come up to me and was like, oh, you're the better man. You didn't like, that's so
you
sweet.
A black guy out here? What's
like,
good?
Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, just being like, yo, like, you could have like snapped and like fought in the middle of the party and just like ruined everything. But their own homie, they were all yelling. They're like, you're an idiot. Like, ended up like all those dudes don't even fuck with him anymore because he's a dumbass. Like, they're mad that they even put his video in the act like, or in the fucking us versus them. That's what it is us versus them is the name of the brand.
So you're pretty cool with some
I
of
fucking
them?
Respect all those dudes. Dude, they're blue collar workers, dude. Like, they work hard as fuck. It's cold as fuck. They're going out riding, doing clips. I have no beef with any of those dudes.
Is there a lot of beef out there on the East Coast with like crews that you know of? I know you haven't been out there in a long time, but since you were out there.
When I was out there, it really wasn't really beef. Everyone got along, you know what I mean? Like, if anything, it would be like one person that didn't get along with another person. It wasn't like crews that didn't get, like, that I know of that didn't. But I know for a fact that, like, the Act Like You Know and them weren't getting along with some other crew that was out there because I guess he was an old designer from Animal.
So what is there? There's Act Like You Know.
Us
and
versus them.
Oh no, is that Us versus Them? Isn't that their video called Act Like You Know? Yeah, Us versus Them. That's
Us versus Them is a whole different. That's like.
Oh, that's a new crew.
That's like Zach, Howard.
Oh, I thought it was Act Like You Know Us versus Them. The DV. That's what the.
No, it's a whole different. Like Act Like You Know.
It's a whole new crew.
Is a whole different crew than Us versus Them. Us versus Them is Zach and all of them without that Jeffrey whatever fuckface dude is.
Okay.
And Act Like You Know was out before Us versus Them. I think Us came because Zach, Howard, all those dudes were like, yo, we want to part our ways and do our own shit, which I respect them. Like, no one wants to go mess around with some mark-ass dudes. Like, those dudes are marks, bro. Like, they're marks.
Damn. Okay. We heard it here.
Fucking marks, bro. Like,
it's all good, though, man. I'm glad that you got away with all that shit. And then what was it during the time that made you audition for the real world? How old are you? What happened?
Oh, shit. I was really young. I was probably, I was only like 20-something. I was in my 20s, like early 20s.
What made you want to audition for the real world?
I thought it'd be funny. I'd be like the Black Puck of MTV.
Do you have the video?
It's somewhere on YouTube somewhere.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to try to find that video and we're going to put it in the description.
It's funny. I think if you look up Linwood Monk, like MTV, Real World, I made it pretty far. They flew me out to New York, South Carolina, I went to Florida, and then the last round they decided they wanted to choose a black girl. Like, in their heads they knew what they wanted.
Did you meet any of them?
I met pretty much all those people from that went on to that show because they were the ones that went further along with me.
Okay.
Because when MTV like really messes with you, they like for that they send you off to the next audition to where it's more people, and they're like, you know what, we like this guy that flew in from Virginia, and they just keep moving you on. I made it until like probably like the 4th round.
Oh shit!
It's like 5 or 6 rounds.
Oh damn! Imagine if you were on.
Dude, I would have been a Black Puck of MTV, dude.
Like, you the Black Tupac of MTV?
No, you don't remember the old?
Oh yeah. He was in movies and shit. He got
Puck.
Yeah, Puck.
And he rode BMX bikes.
Oh,
like,
did he?
Yeah.
Where was he from?
It was filmed here in San Francisco. It was like the first real.
He
world.
was the one with the blonde
yeah,
hair,
and he was always fighting with everyone.
Yeah, and he was in Van Wilder.
Yeah. Van Wilder.
Yeah, that video, that fool was so fucking funny.
That's what I was like in my head. I was just like, I thought it was something fun, and with me like being from Virginia, there's not a lot of BMX sponsors. I mean, now they're out there. Like you got FBM, Steve Crandall, and them are living in the hometown where
you
I'm
fuck
from
with
now.
them?
Yeah, like growing up, that's what like my best friend, like his company he grew up was a night train. So once he was done with his frames and he got a new one, he handed me down one.
So your first frame was FBM?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a legit like frame was like the night train. You know what I mean? And then from there it was just like kept going. I had a cheetah dab, I had a solid, which a lot of people don't know about it.
Dude, I got kicked off FBM.
Yeah, because you party too hard, dude.
I know, I party too hard for FBM.
And that's crazy because those dudes are animals.
Dude, I don't remember this, but I heard Kelly Baker wanted to beat my ass so bad. But I don't remember what. I was blacked out the whole fucking trip. And I kind of remember coming out of my blackout and looking at Crandall yelling at fucking Baker. Like, blah, blah, blah. And then I went back in my blackout. And the next day, all the dudes weren't stoked with me. Dude, I think on the Gypsy Caravan DVD, I think there's about a 30-minute video of me just blacked out drunk, throwing up, like just fucking dead. And they're just fucking with me. And I know a lot of these fools didn't fuck with me, but it was cool though. Like, it was a cool experience.
It's crazy because that's all those dudes do. I mean,
apparently not. Apparently Albuquerque goes harder, son.
I guess they're straight edge now. I mean,
they have to be. It's the same shit that probably happened to us, that we party too hard, so now that we can't fucking drink as much, you know?
No, I think a lot to do with Crandall, though, is losing his best friend. You know what I mean?
Oh, shit. What happened?
When his friend died from cancer.
Oh, Mike Tagg.
Mike Tagg passed away, and I felt like emotionally, mentally, a lot of things, like, kind of, like, disrupted his world of, like, he didn't want to just be that dude that was partying, getting fucked up, and his health, dude. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure his kidneys, all the years of him partying and chugging, like, straight whiskey, like, you can't do that shit forever.
Yeah, I mean, some people can't. We were talking about this the other day with Gorman. Like, I think the landlord or whatever is 98 years old, and he just talks about how he partied and just parties and has a good time. I think it's just the cards that were dealt, you know? Like, some people could handle it and some people can't. And I'm the type of person that can't. I overdid it when I was young, and now I can't even fucking do it. I'm still young, but I should be able to be out there partying with all these fucking people. But I'm here having a conversation with Boss Hogg, drinking Olipop.
I don't know. It's some nights where I'm like, yeah, I want to go out to the bar and hang out. And I'm just like, yo, you leave the bar, you spend $100-some, you wake up the next day hungover as fuck. What do you leave with? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I question myself. Like,
I mean, on a good night, you leave with a bitch.
Yeah, but also you can leave with an STD or AIDS or herpes, something that sticks with you for life.
I mean, hey, it could be a good time, at least while it lasted.
Knocking wood.
Have you ever caught an STD?
Knocking wood. I'm 35 years old, and I've never had an STD in my life.
You never had an STD in your life?
Never in my life.
Have you raw dogged a lot of girls?
Nah, because I was always afraid of having kids.
Now you have one.
Well, I mean, I'm glad I'm having one now. I'm 35, dude. I'm like, I mean, I love the way that my life, where it's taken me. I've traveled so much, not having sponsors. You hear Tony Maloof all the time. I'm here with Boss Hogg. Somehow he's here at Swamp Fest, and he's here in California. He's at the Phoenix Jam, dude. Like, I didn't have sponsors, dude. Like, if it was a jam or something, like I just saw that Augie's having a thing, the Dawn of the Streets. Guess who's going to be pulling up to the Dawn?
You going there?
Nigga, how can I not go to a Dawn of the Streets on the East Coast?
Okay, Boss Hogg gonna be there. I was thinking about going to there actually, but I have this shop to take care of.
That you're trying to open up.
Yeah, but I would love to go to that, and I mean, if everyone's going, I might have to go just for a couple of days, like it's just a day trip.
To be honest, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go because it's not gonna be like a.
The tickets are $300.
Way cheaper than that.
Which one? I saw JetBlue.
What was it?
I like flying JetBlue because I could collect my points, and they have TVs on there, and I got really bad anxiety, so I can't fuck with flight. I needed something to be doing the whole time on the trip,
yeah.
or I'll just go fucking crazy.
Out,
yeah. And the longest flight I've ever done is 4.5 hours. I think it was flying to the FBM Gypsy on that trip.
Like going to the East Coast?
I flew from Albuquerque to Dayton, Ohio.
Damn, they start. Oh yeah, they did start in day.
Season Bikes. I used to ride for Season Bikes.
Oh, they used to have a house out there too.
Yeah, that was the weirdest fucking time of dude. It was so weird. Season Bikes was cool, but it wasn't at all. Some of the dudes on there are fucking weirdos, bro. Like I'm weird, and some of those dudes are weird. They were straight edge at the time, and I was probably like 15, 16, drinking, partying like a motherfucker. So they weren't having that. They didn't know what to think. But Tony Cherry, that fool Tony Cherry was cool as fuck. I remember Tony Cherry being cool as fuck. Dave Thompson, dope as fuck. It was crazy because me, Adrian V. Hill, Dave Thompson, Evan Fisher, and Corey Jarman, all 5 of us were from like this side. Well, Evan's from out there, but he was living on this side. So like all the West Coasters, Southwesters would be hanging out as a crew, and then the East Coasters would be doing their same thing. Dude, I remember fucking breaking my arm in Pittsburgh, and these motherfuckers got pissed off at me. Some of these dudes, I think it might have been Troy Merkel, but they're like, what the fuck, man? Like, they talk shit about me. My fucking arm is crooked, and they're complaining about me breaking my fucking arm and going to the hospital. And I was like, bro, like, no shit. You think I wanted this to happen to me either? Like, we have to go to the hospital right now. And Corey Jarman had my fucking back. He went through me to the ER. Adrian is cool as fuck. Like, they had my back. But I remember, I'll never like Trey Merkel because of that shit. Like, he just said some stupid-ass comments, and my arm is literally S-ed out. He's like, bro, we're trying to get home to our girlfriends. Like, shit, I'm trying to get home too.
That's another thing I hate about BMX is that you got so many people that talk shit and try to like down you or like throw shit, throw shade on your name, and then
you get that a lot. I get that a lot too.
They see you and they act like they're super cool. And what's weird lately?
Why do you think that though? Why do you think you get a lot of hate? And I get a lot of hate too.
Because I don't put up and I don't fucking kiss ass, dude. I'm always been a person that's like, if I don't like you, I'm gonna say what I want. I'm gonna say how I feel. And I feel like a lot of people aren't used to people being honest. And I'm super honest. If I don't like something, I'm gonna say it. If I don't like the situation, I'm gonna say it. Like, I'm just that type of person. I just don't give a shit. I was raised that way, and I'm never going to change.
Do you think a lot of people talk shit behind your back in front of you and act cool in front of you?
Yeah, I know a majority of the motherfuckers here in Long Beach do. And then they'll be the first motherfuckers to be like, hey, you working at Good Bar? You cooking tonight? Hey, can I get some weed? Can I get this? Nah, bro. I already know you, bro. Like, I know it.
Does it kind of, what keeps you from wanting to beat their ass or check them?
Because it's not even worth it. At the end of the day, I know I smoke half these fools.
Yeah.
I would smoke half these fools, dude. And there's no point, because at the end of the day, most of these dudes will call the cops. They're like, oh, he beat me up.
So they're like, that's what I realized a lot out here. Like,
nobody wants to fade, cuz. No one wants a one-on-one fade and be like, you know what? I got my ass kicked. I'm going to walk away. Everyone wants to talk shit, act like they're cool with you. And then, like, once you leave, they be the first motherfuckers. And, like, I'm like, I feel like it's times where, like, I can sit around and see these motherfuckers just talking about me for hours, bro. Like,
has it always? Is it just California, or do you think that's happened to you your whole life?
Pretty much my whole life, just because of the way I am. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I don't like something, like, I just don't. I'm gonna tell you. I'm like, that's fucking whack. Like,
yeah, that's what I talked to you the other night. It's like, it trips me out that a lot of these fools talk shit on you,
and I don't beat them up.
Yeah, because you're like you're a pretty big dude, a lot bigger than a lot of these dudes, and like I give you. I don't know if it's like...
I think it's a lot of me. Like, when I was younger, I would, like, when I was, like, 18, 19, like, and going to the era when I lost my mom, I would have beat up all these dudes. When I was living in Tampa, when I was living in Phoenix, I was beating people up left and right. But now I'm 35 years old, and it's like, end of the day, beating them up, what's gonna accomplish that? You know what's gonna make them feel even worse? Be that nigga with the nice car. Be that nigga that's going to get a new whip. Be the nigga with money in the bank. Be that nigga that's showing up with new shoes, new bike. Hey, how did Boss Hogg go to the Swamp Fest? He don't got no sponsors. How is he in Phoenix? How is he doing all this shit?
Isn't that crazy? They hate you when you don't do shit, and they hate you when you're doing shit. So it's like you're never winning. So
I'm used to it now.
So just stay. That's why it's cool. Just stay in your lane and do your thing. And I think that's dope. Like,
end of the day, I think at some point now, I just don't give a shit anymore. I'm worried about me.
I'm glad,
make sure
man.
My lights are on, make sure my cable's on, make sure I have my own car that I don't have to pay payments on. It's my shit. If I want to get in my car and throw my bike on it, I can go anywhere in LA. I can drive that bitch to Phoenix if I wanted to. I don't have to ask nobody for shit, bro.
And I like that,
at
man.
the end of the day, that's how I'm always going to be.
And it's good, man, because the people that are going to be talking shit are clearly the people that are scared to say it to your face. And the people that aren't traveling like you're traveling and doing things. So I definitely. Always had your back, bro. Like, I don't. That's another thing I don't really like is when I see we be riding or with anybody in general, and then they're just talking shit, and then they pull up and they're like, "Oh, what's up, dude?" Like, damn, bro. Like, you just talking like you wanted this motherfucker dead. I'm not saying you in general. I'm just saying that's how the industry be.
Works,
You know, it's
yeah.
like, damn, fool. You're just talking like you wanted to murder this fool, G. Like, but it's whatever. It's female high school shit. You know, like. That's just the way. I think that's how
Politics,
all industry. Yeah, it's
bro.
all politics and all industry shit, and that's all right, bro.
That's
like,
what I'm saying. Why do you think a lot of like the people like
I think a lot of people just don't get you, man.
like even like sponsors, all those other big companies probably see because I like you said it. I need to like tone down on it. Like it makes me kind of look bad, and I think I'm not gonna lie, I leave with a lot of shit with my emotions. So of how I feel, I don't have a lot of people I can talk to it because I really, at the end of the day, I don't trust a lot of people no more.
Yeah, I had to check you on that because I feel like that wasn't really checking anybody. I think that was just making you look stupid because you're writing too much shit that doesn't need to be thought. Like some things should be kept to yourself, or you should hit up one of your friends, me, whatever, and have an opinion. And that's a lot of things that I fucked up when I was younger. I fucked up a lot of connections and all type of shit because I would just get drunk and I'd fucking just speak my mind at the time. And a lot of people that fucked with me back then hate me now or don't fuck with me at all. And that's okay because you live and you learn. But I think you just need to step back and think sometimes like I'm putting too much out there in a negative way when you think it's positive, but it's really not, you know? Because I know you just want people to listen to you. And there are people that listen to you and all that shit. But some things on Instagram, you be getting a little wild, bro.
Like I said, I just don't give a fuck, dude. I like speak my mind. I hear it all the time, and I'm working on it. Not perfect, but I'm working on it.
No. Yeah, I'm like I said, bro. We're all growing, and I love to see it, and I love seeing you grow. And I'm super stoked that you're having a kid, and I cannot wait for that. And dude, from the time I met you, we're just fucking bullshitting.
Hardy, remember in Glendale they wouldn't let you in because you had a tattoo on your face.
Oh yeah, yo. So Boss Hogg was taking me out to. You worked in that whole area, didn't you?
Yeah, I worked at was that Caligo Jack's.
Yeah, and then
we ended up leaving that one and going across to the other one, which are owned. McFadden's are owned by the same company.
Yeah, and they wouldn't let me in because I had this little ass tattoo, and they said it was gang related. What? I don't even remember the first time I ever met you. That's what's crazy. Did I live in Arizona when I met you? Because I lived in Arizona for a good 6 months. God damn, that was a horrible time. Clay Johnson, I'm glad he doesn't hate me from that whole time.
You were partying a lot when we were there, though. We partied a lot. I remember. Because Clay and them lived right down the street from me at the time because I was living in Sunny Slope when I first moved to Phoenix. So, like, when I first got there, I was kind of, like, riding with Clay, Troy, Bobby, and them. Like, I remember going to Texas Toast with Bobby Canode and the Dawson twins and Troy, because we all hopped in Troy's Honda Accord and drove all the way to Texas.
Damn, for Texas Toast?
For Texas Toast.
Damn, I wish that shit was going. I wish Swamp Fest was in Austin.
To be honest, I love Swamp Fest and all, but fuck Trey Jones.
You don't like Trey Jones?
Dude, he talks so much shit, bro. It made me so mad.
He talks shit on you?
Like, on everyone. Like,
why do you think that is?
My girl calls him out because she follows all the big dudes, and she was just like, why is he complaining? He was like something about like the wood isn't the same, or the ramps or the dirt or something isn't the same as being where he's from, or just like always complaining. And then like when he was here for, what's the thing of the Rebel Jam, right? Like, I know all these dudes, dude. Like, I've known, like, Trey used to come to Richmond, dude, like, ride the trails for the FBM because he's cool with all those dudes. Like, I've known Trey for a while. I remember Trey when he was at Mesh, and his dad was a dad that was like, you need to do this. You need to do it better. Go back and do it again. His dad was that dude at Mesh Skate Park down in Florida. And now I've seen him this time at Huntington at the Rebel Jam, and me and my girl were like, oh, hey, what's up, Trey? And he literally walked right by me, bro. My hand is out. Walked right by me and act like he didn't even know who I was. Just kept going. Fuck that. That's why we got in the Swamp Fest free last year, nigga. The whole squad did.
Does that kind of irritate you? That's some bitch made shit, to be honest. Like, dude, I don't know.
He made so much money off of so many BMXers. He doesn't give it back to us, dude. All that money goes to him living, buying his ramps in his backyard. Fuck that fool. He's a mark ass fool too. God
damn. Well, he does give back to BMX because of Swamp Fest, so I give him that. I don't know him personally, But that kind of sucks for what happened. But that's just the way of thing, man. Like, a lot of people just don't want to be seen talking to us or
What do you mean
associate
seen? He
with us.
walked right by me and
That's
was
what I'm
taking
saying, though.
photos with
A lot of people think their image, man. People think they got 100,000, 200,000 followers on Instagram. They think
Dude,
they
followers
famous.
don't mean shit.
That's
bro.
what I'm
At the
saying.
end
But
of the
hey,
day,
but the industry think
when the internet fucking dies and there's no more Instagram and all that shit, guess what you're gonna have to go back to? DVDs, back to the era where we grew up on BMX. We had to work for a video part where you weren't worried about putting out a 1-minute fucking video on Instagram. You had to go work your ass for a full video part, full length part. I feel like Instagram, social media has killed BMX. That's why we're not blowing up anymore. Because you have so many kids out here now that are do anything for a t-shirt, a sticker. They do anything. They throw themselves off. Altaro, for example, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back in the day, us eras, we worked for our video part. We worked for what we did for BMX back then. It wasn't just so instant gratitude. I love it because I feel like it's a platform that help us. But I feel like so many people are worried about followers.
But that's the thing, though, bro. That's what I'm saying. People have amount of followers, and they think they deserve everything. They get the amount of things, and they think they're above people. I'm just saying a lot of people just don't like to fuck with me or you or a lot of other people. I don't know why, but that's just the way it is. And I give it to him. He didn't shake your hand. If he don't fuck with you, he walked past you. He's a lot more than a lot of these fools act cool to you. He straight up pretty much saying, maybe who knows how he was feeling that day. Maybe he fucks with you, but he didn't hear you. But either way, he didn't shake your hand and he showed you no love. So that's a lot more than a fucker showing you love that don't fuck with you. So you got to give it to him for at least maybe being real. I don't know. So
I guess I could. At the end of the day, even my girl said it's like maybe he had a long day. He was riding. It was hot out that day.
But either way, it doesn't make an excuse to fucking act like a bitch. If you don't like somebody, be like, hey, bro, I don't fuck with you. Sorry.
I think why a lot of people really don't fuck with me is because I'm that way. Like, if I don't fuck with you, I'm calling you out. I'm at you. This nigga fucking supposedly the king of New York, fucking
Black man
blocked me, bro.
He blocked you?
This is the same fool that was hitting me up to send him packs. He's like, yo, can you send me some Cali packs?
Oh,
but
shit.
He was the same fool that was calling me out talking shit. Like, I think on the come up post when I did that crazy.
You guys are supposed to game a bike, right?
He wanted. Was crazy. I was in his hood, and he was out here doing the peep game thing. Remember when he was out here and they're doing the LA peep game hood happy jam?
Yep.
I was in New York because I flew back home for Swamp Fest actually.
Okay.
That was the first Swamp Fest. I flew back home and he was doing all that shit. And I was like, you know what, fool? I'm in Richmond. There's only 7 hours for me to get on a bus and be to New York. Let's do this. $1,000, my bike, game of bike. This is how we want to do it. MIA. This fool's out here in Cali. So later, that shit goes by. We drop it. Because I feel like sometimes internet is internet beef. Like how me and May go at each other, dude. Like, we're going to box each other.
You guys are just doing it to get a rise. You guys are fucking with each other, right?
We're fucking with each other. It's almost like what's it called?
He's trolling.
Trolling each other, you know what? Oh, fuck am I getting hair from? It's fucking Luna hair all on me and crap, dude. How's your pup doing?
She's dope. But yeah, you and Black Man. I don't know, man. Black Man got them tricks, bro.
He has hella tricks. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he got all of them. Black Man's one of the best. He's one of my favorites, to be honest.
Yeah, but I'm a sleeper too. So
no, hey, I ain't doubting you. I don't doubt anybody. But I mean, you guys are crazy. I think you guys should get off the Instagram and let's do a video right now. When we see each other, we make this shit live.
Why you think I'm going to New York? Donna Streets. I know that fool's gonna be there.
Oh shit, you guys are about to get it. Oh shit, you guys are gonna have to play a game of bike and you guys are gonna have to box each other. Is that the dawn of the street?
I don't know about boxing. He don't want no smoke.
Damn, Black Man don't want smoke.
I think people sleep on me, dude. I work out every day. I fucking box every day. Like, I'm in good shape for 35.
Hey, you don't look 35.
35, I'm in good shape. I don't think no one wants that smoke.
All right, we're at an hour and almost 10 minutes. Is there any last words you want to say? I just want to say congratulations on having a kid. I can't wait to meet the little boss Hogg. I'm very stoked on what you're doing. Keep doing you. Let the haters hate, whatever. Like, I'm just stoked that we're getting to do this, bro.
Yeah, me too. And I'm really proud of you for doing this, dude. Like, Long Beach for the longest time, we needed a bike shop, like a legit bike shop. And to see you doing this, it like really makes me proud. Like, when I made that post, I'm like, this makes me really proud to see a homie not just like, because you could have took all the money that you're doing this and bought more cameras, bought like a big old like Audi A7 kind of car, you know what I mean? But you switch it around, and you're taking your time and your money and your energy to do something for the community in Long Beach.
That's what it's about, man. It's giving back, you know?
And it's dope. Like, it's really dope, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you, bro. So you have shit, the cops came. The cops are already coming. So you have anything? So you're going to New York?
Yeah, I'm gonna be in New York. November 2nd for the Donna Streets. Right now, I'm about to start electrician school. I'm trying to ride as much as I can.
Any video parts coming pretty soon? Or in the works?
If I can find a filmer.
All right, we got to find a filmer that doesn't charge. So anyone hit up Boss Hogg. Yeah, so we've done it. If you guys want to see some more from Boss Hogg, make sure to go follow him on Instagram at BossHogg_22, right?
Yes, sir.
And is there anything else you'd like to say? Subscribe, like, comment, do the damn thing. Leave a comment on who you want to see. There was a lot of call-outs and good ones in this one. Let us know what's more.
Peace, love, and chicken grease.
Gang shit. Let's go. The world's worst podcast right here. You know what Adam has the world's best podcast? World's worst podcast. Let's see us.
Oh, yeah. Support my boy, Nate. Golden Days.
GoldenDays.com. Or no, yeah. GoldenDaysByCo.com. Peace. Well, almost. Just stay tuned.